Hello everyone, welcome to the channel as we are going to create this amazing e-commerce website, and today it will be number 4th part of this series of video. As you remember, in our first, second and third video we almost cover up with so many functionalities with the home page, with the cart page, and also with our storage management. As you remember, we initialize our firebase authentication and firestore database and storage, as well as also we created this firebase config file so that you can just put the credential and start beginning the build. We also demonstrate how you can create it, you restore using Justin, and all the code are also available in our repository over here. If you just click on the link provided in the description, you will land here in that main repository with the main branch. If you just click here, the main contains the part 1 video, then the part 2, 3, and today's part it will be 4. So if you click here, it will be just containing the 4th part of the video which we are going to build today. And as you remember, if you want to go through it for the part 1, 2, 3, feel free to go. And if you are having any issue, any inquiries, you can let me know in the comments below. And all the others video, as you see the last 3 videos, it will be available here. So you can see that first part 3, 2, 1, and there is a playlist with the video for particularly this super gear e-commerce. That's the one which, if you just click here, you will find all available videos, and after uploading all, it will be just locked and you can just get available all videos here. So today what are we going to do that today? First thing first, from here I will just, you need to create that one. How to create, I already described in the part 3, so feel free to go there and learn whatever necessary. So from the project settings, I just need to grab the credential which I'm gonna get, and after getting the credential, you just need to provide it in your .env file. So as you see, I'm running my project already here from localhost, but if I refresh, it will not open because the credential is missing. So if you clone it and if it's not working, don't freak out. You see the firebase auth, I need to provide the API key. That's what's actually complaining. So what you need to do is a simple task you need to follow is that you just need to go to, as you see, we have pages, UI, and then where is our .env? Okay, we're gonna we can search that. Okay, we are in the client, and let's say, oh sorry, not .env, as we are maintaining the firebase file directly, so you need to just put your firebase app credentials. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna provide the credentials and I'm gonna close that file. Okay, I already provided. Let's see and refresh that one. And as you see, our application is running and functioning properly. So we have been done those processes. So today what we are going to do, there is a balance properties is that creating the favorite screen, and after that we will go to create our login authentication, which is going to be sign in, means the registration, login, and the profile screen. And all we're gonna do using that firebase database, and we will gonna go with that firestore and also the storage properties. So let's dig in to build this project. And again, if you are just cloning that application, after just you need to copy that, and then you need to switch for the part 3 till for part 3 to get everything. And if you are the latest, like later on the video, you need to copy, just need to change the branch for the part 4. So don't mess it around. If you having any confusion, let me know in the comments below. And if this video is helping you to learn something new, just like the video and subscribe the channel. Your subscription can really boost my confidence and morale. So to build that, I'm gonna close this all. And again, just a remembrance for you, there is lots of videos regarding the portfolio, e-commerce website, or many others properties and so on. You can go and find your latest video and you can learn from here. It can be a really good help for your learning methods. So I'm gonna close it, and also this repo not require, let me keep that, and this one. Okay, so now let's go in our favorite. Now to start with the favorite, I'll just go and open my favorite.tsx file. as you remember, all the pages are configured from the main file. So all routed is configured from here, and we created all the pages beforehand when we started, as we know which what kind of pages it could be. There is one more properties which we need to demonstrate. Yeah, our favorite page is already working. Sorry, that 404 are not found pages working. So to deal with that favorite, what I'm gonna do, instead of that div, I'm gonna write that with a container. Okay, container. And to compile with the favorite, there is one more properties which we need to initialize. As you remember, we need to go and activate that favorite product, add favorite, and remove favorite, reset favorite. That three functionality will work together to give us that all configuration, that how we can provide that data sequence. Okay, so now that's the three properties which going to come align with that. One is for the add to favorite, one is the remove favorite, one is the reset favorite. I'm going to explain one because it's the same functionality which we provided when we created our add to cart and other functionalities. So I'm going to just close, I'm going to just comment 2, and then I'm going to start this one. Okay, so now from here I just need to write that, so as you see, as favorite, and I'm gonna define, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass my product here which having the type for the product props. Then I'm just gonna write down my function. And still till now, if you're having any doubts how Justin work, I'm gonna link also one video in that description, so that you can follow that link and then having a better idea how you can simply acquire Justin in your applications. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with to return a new promise. So new promise, and that promise will be void. Okay, so I'm gonna just solve with that, making a resolver. So it will be just resolve. And what I'm going to resolve, let's see, I'm gonna put set, and should be state, and in this state, the state should be the store type. If you are having any doubts regarding the types, let's go in the type, and store types what we have, as you see, yeah, it's other types. What is our store types? I think, oh sorry, it's a line here. If we go in the top, then you can find store type. The type is defined here is that, so user type, store type, this is the store type. That's we uncommented previously. So store type, it will get the favorite product as the cart product. So that's the configuration here. So it will be the similar product method, because all products is just going to coming in the same proportion. So I just keep it same as it should be. So now I'm gonna just get one functionality which going to refer that is favorites. So what it means if it's already marked through. And why I'm doing that, as you remember, if you just go any particular pages, if you click, you see is fitness M3 added successfully. If you remove, click again, it's removed, you see. So that's toggling we need to create. So that's why we are just making that separation. So is favorite, it means state dot favorite product, and from here I'm gonna make a filter, not favorite product dot filter, and in that filter I'm gonna pass just the item, and from here it should be item dot id equal to product dot id. Okay, so now what I'm doing is right now, my ID should be underscore as we provided before. So now is favorite item means it can be go through with that whatever the product I am providing, it's going to be filtered alongside, means it can remove favorite, it can add favorite. So it's gonna check is already added or not. So it will just go and make that functionality to create as a filter properties. So now I'm gonna return from here. Okay, return, and what I'm going to return, it should be favorite product, and then is favorite. Now if is favorite is available, there will be one scenario. If it's not available, there will be different scenario. So is favorite is available, then it should be state dot favorite product dot filter. Now as you see, we are making filter whenever our favorite product is available. If it's not available, then okay. If it's available, we are just gonna push that within our favorite. Like we are going to maintain the array, so whenever we are selecting any of the favorite, it's gonna inject on that array. If it's already there, it will filter through. If it's not there, it will add it through. So that's toggling that's the toggling we are creating right now. Okay, so filter, and from that filter we will pass the similar properties which we defined in the top. So it will be item dot id, and it should be equal, not equal with that. Let's see, we are passing the product dot id. So means it can make and filter through. And now if it's not available, means is product is not always, is not selected for favorite, then what it gonna do, it gonna add that proportion. So I'm gonna spread that a favorite state dot favorite product, whatever the product is already available, then I'm gonna just align that the product we are providing. So it should be the, okay, it should align with the product, I believe. Yeah. So now we are having the product, and as we finish all things, we need to resolve. I need to call that resolver. Okay, resolve, done. So now we can use our favorite. So how it can be applicable to our data? So to align with the favorite, remember we already defined with a configuration. So let's go, we're gonna go and tag that. You may remember the functionality we need to provide in the product card, and in the product card you can see one is that product card side nav. That's the place where we need to create the functionality, as whenever we are hovering any of the product. Let's go in that super gear on the home page. Whenever we are hovering, the product is coming here. So that's the portion which we need to start working on. We need to align it here. So to do work with that, let's just open our file here, and now here we are going to write a simple functionality and what it could be. So that's the span tag is available. So now that will be for the star. So let's go and create that. It will be, let's just make on click, and I'm gonna make that handle favorite. And we need to define that function at the top. And sometimes if you have autosave star like running, that can be really a catastrophic. So once you click, it can be really make a problem. Try to not to do it autosave, just format once you are saving it, so that it will not break your application. Because now if I save, you'll see it's already broken, because we need to define the functionality here. That's why remove the autosave, just click it once you are saving, then that will be fine. So define, and it will be handle favorite. Okay, now we are passing the handle favorite item, but remember we are not getting any product here. It will not work because we don't have any product. How we can send the product? So from here in the product card, we can pass the product, as we are having that product here which is available. So now from here we are just going to get that, is it coming as a product? No, we passed it as an item. So I'm gonna just get the name as a product as item, and also I'm gonna define that properties. So it should be, I'm gonna get that product, and that product, it will be product if it's product available. Then the typo, it should be product props. Okay, it are gone. So now I can get my product and start working here. And remember, in the cart we did the same functionality which we are going to align here. So I'm just gonna grab those properties here. One, it will be just defining my store, and there we need to get the two things. One should be the favorite product, one should be the add favorite functionality, and also I'm going to define two store properties which is going to coming up as an existing product and set existing product. So if I roll back here, what is saying favorite product card are unused. Okay, that's not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm having my all the properties. So now I need to get if this product is existed or not. Remember, it's existing product, set existing product. Why I'm doing that? That will be reliable to show that icon is product is available in the cart or not. See, if there is two, if I go there, it's available. But now if I just go and remove that product from here, see, it's one. And also you can remove it from here. That's just depend on you. So now let's go and create that functionality. And to define that, we need to first provide an use effect. If you remember how we did the card, that's the same functionality we are going to follow through here. And it will be, now let's see in the card what we did, so that we can just grab dot format. So in the card, did we define that? No, we didn't define that one. So we need to create it for absolutely for that one. So it will be available item, and that item, it will come from that favorite item. If favorite, okay, this might is get the, yeah, should be the item is here, favorite item dot find. Now we are going to find if this item is available, and we take the variable as item, and as you may can see, remembering that one, we will go through with the id. So item dot id should be equal to the product we are passing as props id. Now we will be able to get our favorite id, and also we need to go and grab those to make it empty. Now how you can set the status on that? First of all, let's just log if that item is available or we are getting any of the available item. So it should be available item. Okay, console. What is saying? Code the following, either render handle fab. Oh, okay, it's our previous attempt to make that. So now when we're gonna see that, actually without keeping it here, we're gonna make it here once we click the button. So let's see if no, it will not be possible because we need to go out of this scope. So we can set the favorite product, set the existing product, set existing product. So now we can get that one with that properties. I think it should be the same name. Yeah. And now we can get that existing product here. Okay, let's hit the save. As you see, it's undefined. Of course it should be undefined. And also if we click undefined, means it doesn't have, it cannot find the product is available or not, but we will just define on that it can be available or also it can be null, just to pass from the error. So now how we can add the product, and this favorite data is also going to be affect whenever we are going to change our product data, as we are going to be changing on the person, like it will toggle through in every single instances for particular product. And also whenever we are going to change in our favorite item, I think, yeah, whenever we're gonna change with that favorite product. So now what we're gonna do, we will just create that our store functionality to let it work with that. And we're gonna say if we have the product, means if this product is available, because sometimes maybe the product, it can be some error or other. So be fails, like keep it safe without trying catch. We can just check if the product, as you see, our main typo here is the product. So if we don't have product, there is nothing to be added in the favorite, nothing to be removed from the favorite. So we need to have the product first. So that's why we are just keeping that check. So if product is available, we'll run that add to favorite functionality, which we set in that our store. Then we will pass the product, entire product we will pass. Remember, if we just roll back to our store, what we written there, we will get the product as prop. So of course we need to set the product there. You can also pass the id to keep it that, but remember we need to give the data there. either you can keep the ID, then whenever you're gonna run through that favorite screen, you can get all the favorite product related to those IDs. Otherwise, you can set entire product to your store. Now what will be the available, what will be the catch with that? Whenever you are passing as the product all properties, it's already saving in your local storage. As you remember, even you refresh, our store will not remove. See, cart is available here. So that's what we did, because in the store it's already persist, is already used, so that it will not just go away. So now what it can what can be catchy, whenever you are running through that cart, you don't need to fetch the product, is already available. But if you are calling that real-time server, like you want to see, like you have the web application, you have the mobile app, then you need to align with like getting everything from the server, so that it can always sync with the server, with the like in the website, also in the app you will see the similar cards product, similar favorite product. But right now, as we are not having separate properties, like only we are having web, we can just maintain with this store. So now when we pass the product, it will keep that product. As you see, it's not available there is favorite, so it will just keep that product here. If it's available, then it's gonna just push through it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is to add favorite, and then, so whenever it will just pass that favorite, what it going to do, because it's gonna create two instances, right? So whenever we are going to having that, like we will pass some of the toast.success, or we need to import the toast also, toast.success, and that success message we are going to passing with the condition, if existing product is available, then it gonna give a success message. If not available, then it gonna provide the several messages. How it can be? As you remember, if we click on that favorite, it's already added. If we just remove, it's removed. So that's two formalities it gonna do. And I'm not doing any other functionality. It will just go with that add to favorite, because I have been written there. If the favorite available, what it will do, it will not available, what it will do. So that's the same fundamental things, it will work from there. So no need to create any other instances. So if the favorite existing product is available, then I'm gonna go with the backtick, as I need to get the product from there. So it will be product.name, and I'm gonna make it with substrings just to go with fill the line. And here it will say removed successfully. And if it's not available, let me just copy that, and it should be added successfully. So that's two functionality. Let's roll back our, that's our local host is here. Let's go in our, or I'm gonna go with that view all products. Now let's just create. As you see, it's added, and if I remove, okay, it's just passing added, not removing. Maybe something, okay, existing product is available, then should be aligned with that. Now let me see if it's existing available or not. Let's see. It should be existing. Okay, console. Now if we click existing null, if we click null, so means it's just passing that adding. So existing product, we are not getting any of the existing product, means it's not adding. And why it's not adding, let's just go and, okay, let's just go and check our store if we just missed anything. Sometimes it can be when you are coding, it can be having some mistake, or it will work in a various way. So we set the products, we return the new promise, and then we create the result. We set our store, and with the store type then is favorite is dot product data. Okay, It should not filter. See, it should make the sum. As you remember, we are going to access our data. Filter going to be happen once we are passing that same favorite. So is favorite available, then we are going to filter. So see, it's a minor mistake, but your store is just cramp. Okay, see, now you remove and edit, remove and edit. So now you can see the product. And don't forget to, like, whenever, don't be panic whenever you are facing those kind of problems. Maybe some glitch, some of the little glitch can really break your code, but don't be freak out. Go to the code and try to understand what you are written in the code, and it will give you a very good idea once you are having an understanding of error solving. So now what we are going to do to change our what you call that, our star properties. So that should be what we need to go down here. We will just write a condition which going to be existing like if we are having that existing product, we are passing that. If we don't have existing product, we are gonna passing that. So that's the similar properties. If existing product available, I'm gonna just get that star. Okay, so now let's roll back again. If we click, you see, click. Okay, let's add some products, because now we are going to go with our header. So there I need to pass that favorite data. So let's go header, and as already we have provided our data like the cart product, we're gonna add also the favorite product. And the similar things which we have been done for the cart, we're gonna just copy that portion and we are going to replace it here, but it should be favorite product. Okay, done. So you see 3 product is available. If we click, we should be able to bring that product here to make the other functionality. So let's just dig in, and before providing that, I'm gonna go in my store and I'm gonna initialize last other 2, which it will be the remove from favorite. Now as you see, once you click, we need to remove the favorite item, because till now we are dealing with the 2 similar functionality with same properties, but here in the last one we're not going to adding anything. So after that add to favorite, we're gonna write 2 more function which going to be a remove from favorite. Now we are just passing the product and we are filtering directly. Okay, previously we are comparing with that if it's available or not, but right now we are just filtering whenever we are passing a product ID. And also we will get one of the button by which we can reset the favorite altogether, which gonna make that favorite data as empty. So let's roll back to our favorite and how we are going to add joining with that. If we just go and see our existing it, so that could be like that. You see, adding the favorite products to the description here, then gonna pass the product functionality, and it will just go and combine with yeah, it will also be for like responsive. See the button here, you can also remove it from here. Now for regarding the design, it's up to you to change and make it more plausible. You can do it as your own. If you need any further assistance from my side, let me know in the comments below. So now we're going to write a simple condition back here. So if we have the favorite data, so we need to get the favorite product, and remember we got it already in the header. So I'm going to just go and bring those properties here. Okay, that's the store, and I'm gonna remove that. Okay, not require. Okay, close the header, close the cart, close the typo. So that will be my favorite product here. Bring the store, no need the cart product, so it should be favorite product. Oops, I'm gonna copy paste, and favorite product dot length. If that length, because it's a part of array, if bigger than 0, that I'm gonna just return a div which going to pass the product. And if it's not available, means we are not having any product, then I'm gonna just return another div which going to be also regarding that, just passing an h2, and that will be nothing added to. favorite. Okay, first we will make that our product properties. Okay, then later on we're gonna go with other functionality. If we go here, we can see the product available. So now what we will do over there, let's go and create passing one h2 tag. It should be calling favorite products, and then I'm gonna just pass that one p tag, lorem 30, just random text. Okay, that's the text is available. So now let's go in the top layer of the div. We're gonna make some of the class name over here, should be class name, and that would be, let's put a border bottom, and border b should be gray of 300, and also padding bottom of 600, just to pass it here. That's the thing we are going to deal with now. And then for that h2 tag, put a class name which is going to be text should be 2xl, and font should be bold. You can also provide a title text. It depends on you to get the variable writing list code using the component wise. It depends on you. I'm going to just go to finish on that. And tracking tight, and text should be gray of 900, and sm text should be 3xl. So right now we'll get the 3xl text. Okay, so is our text, we are getting that? Yeah, we're getting that. And now for that p tag, put a class name which is going to be margin top up to. Text should be a small text. Text will be gray of 500, and then I'm going to give you max width which is going to be 500 pixel. As you see, now it's just passing the same compatibility. Also you can just provide some more properties like tracking wide you can make. Also you can make font medium just to see it. It depends on you, but I'm just gonna go in the simplest way. Now I'm gonna wrap everything which I'm provided here within another div, so that I can now pass the product div here. So it will be the product div, and here what I'm gonna do is that take one more div, and now I'm gonna go with that to pass to like I need to map through my entire favorite list product, so that I can show a single favorite product and create all the functionality there. So it will be a favorite favorite product dot map should be product, and that would be no, it should be directly return. So I'm gonna just grab one properties, not the properties. I'm gonna create one UI. In the UI I'm gonna create a file which going to be name of that favorite product.tsx. So now this one, it will toggle through entirely. So now let's grab that favorite product. Okay, favorite product is not defined, which we need to import for sure. Okay, now you see we have 3 products, and also we need to define the key for it, otherwise it will just start shouting when you're going to upload that. We give the unique ID as the ID, and we're gonna pass the product as product, so we can grab the products in that favorite. Now in this layer, put a class name. Margin top should be 6, and also I'm gonna just make that, let's say, flow should be from the root, and padding x should be 4, sm empty should be 10, and sm padding x should be 0. Okay, cool. And for this one, let's just put a class name. Margin my should be 6. Okay, you see it's getting the top. Yeah, it's okay. And should be divide should be y, and divide should be gray of 200. As you see, little divider is running here. Okay, cool. And then sm minus my should be 10. Okay, now it's cool. So let's roll back to our favorite data properties, where we're gonna create other parameter which going to be cool. So let's just go over there, and what I'm gonna do is that to start using my favorite properties, which going to be the product, and that product should be product dot as the product props. Now let's just in the favorite, let's see how we're gonna create that. So that'd be one div, two, yeah. So similarly it just going to be having two properties, and then also it's gonna align with the image properties. So first thing first, let's just go and grab those things. So in the favorite list properties, I'm gonna first get two of the div. So that would be the first one. Now in that div will be product, but here I'm going to keep the image, so it will be image properties and should be product dot images. As we are going to have multiple images, we are just going to give the first one, and the alternative tag should be product image. And also let's provide a class name which is going to be height of full and width of full, and then rounded should be LG. Let's see how it's going to align and how it will look right now. As you see, it's so big, but we will set the things in a very good way. Let's put a class name, should be flex, padding y should be 6, and yeah, that's it. And then in that particular layer of the div, over here we're gonna do the functionality, because this div will take the major properties. So like min width should be 0, so no minimum width, like it will just go with that, and flex should be 1, and LG just we're gonna make flex, and LG flex should be column. Okay, so now still you will not get to see those properties which we are going to talking about, but what we are going to do is that let's just see how we can do that. So in that particular layer of the div, let's put a class name, margin left should be 4, and then flex shrink okay, should be flex, why is not coming that, okay, flex shrink should be 0. Height I'm going to provide 20, width going to provide 20, and SM which should be 40, and SM height should be 40. Okay, as you see now it's coming on the line. And also we will make that SM order should be first, so it will sing in the first layer, and then I'm gonna make SM like margin should be 0, and then SM MR should be 6. Okay, so it will push a little bit together. Let's give a border, and also border should be gray of 200, and then rounded should be MD, and hover rounded should be hover not rounded, it should be border sky text, and duration I'm going to provide 200 to create a smoothing sensation, and cursor pointer I'm going to make it as a group, and overflow should be hidden. Now as you see, that's my product is ready. So now you will not to see all the major thing till we are going to pouring a lot of other properties, but for the image also let's just make it in a bit better. So rounded, okay, MD or LG, anyway both are in cool way. And object should be cover, it should be cover, and then object I'm gonna make it center, and also SM call star should be 1. Actually we are not providing the column as, yeah, so I think yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna make that group hover, which is going to be give a scale of 110, and duration should be similar of 200. So if I hover at, you see, okay. So now let's just start working that other properties which going to be pretty cool. So let's see here, I'm gonna grab one div. Here it will be another div, then I'm gonna go and grab the product here, which going to be h4, providing that product name. So should be product dot name. Now you'll be able to see the product name, you see, but we need to arrange it in a proper fashion, which we are going to do it now. So first thing first, for that name, this div it will just keep it same like that, but here we're gonna start working from that particular div. So providing the class name should be LG, flex should be 1. Okay, so getting the entire room, and class name SM should be flex, Okay, so now it will be keeping all together with the flex properties. So let's go here and put a class name. Font should be medium, and after that text should be gray of 900. Okay, cool. And after that a p tag, after that product name, we will also pass that product dot description, and that description going to giving that class name, which margin top should be 2, and by default it will be hidden. Text should be sm, text should be gray of 500, but whenever we are not in the smaller screen, we want to see the text as block. And what we did, if you go here, you see in that smaller screen, because there's no need to keep that one, so we just make it as simple as possible. You can show it, you can keep the pace and align that one, is up to you. And after that, let's just getting another p tag, and it will be brand. It will be the similar things which we created in that curve. So it will be, let's say, product dot brand. Okay, now you can see the brand properties here. We'll just go and create some of the functionality, which going to be text should be sm, margin top should be 1. That's it. And for these properties, class name, font should be medium. Okay, done. So I'm gonna copy that one again, as I'm gonna go and grab the category, which is going to be product category. Done. So what else we need to provide? We need to provide that functionality for the card. So let's just go and bring those properties. And one more thing is that also after that finishing that particular layer of the div, not finishing that, yeah, one div. So I'm going to grab one span tag, which is going to be md close properties. Let's see if we can see. We can see that cross things. So now here it will give the magic to remove that product from here. So text should be LG, and text should be gray of 600, and also hover text should be rate of 600. Duration I'm going to provide, or better to give 200, align with that. Cursor pointer, inline block, empty should be 4, sm empty should be 0. So now if we roll back to smaller screen, you see it's also available here. Now you can keep that one where you want to put align this space where you will keep it that, so no worries for this. Now what we're gonna do here, once we click on that span tag, like on click, we need to remove that product and pass one message. So we can do it in the similarly over here without going through the other properties. What we will do, we'll create an inline functionality, which it will be making that remove. I think it should be removed from favorite, but as you know, it will not provide that one, so we need to go in that our store to grab those. So it will be this one, because we are not individually sending that one like we used to send it for that Redux toolkit. That's why it was exporting, so it's showing that prediction. But here, as we are not just passing it as a function, it will not go and grab that. So, and it will be from store. Okay, store. And now what we can do, and also we need another properties, because once we click in the image we want to navigate that. So also we can make navigate. We're gonna use that use navigate hook. Okay, so now for to make that remove from, let's just say remove from favorite. Okay, and we're gonna pass that our entire products here. Okay, so the product we are seeing there, and then we're gonna also do one more properties to show that is actually removing or not. So it will be toast dot success, and that going to say removed from favorite successfully. What's wrong with that? Product type is not assignable. Okay, so should be okay, it should not be passing that product, because as you know, we need to delete that with the type. That's why it's just asking that error property. So if we go back here, if we remove, you see remove from favorite successfully. So now, as you see, we are close to finishing or wrapping those things. But before going through any further, let me grab that our add to cart functionality. It will be add to cart, should be btn, and here we're gonna pass our product, which going to be as the product. Let's see. You see, you can see that right now here, and that's what's, but the price section, which we need to also initialize here. Now put a class name, which should be 32. Okay, it will define, don't worry about it. Now what I'm gonna do, put a class name, should be flex, text should be small, item center, and then gap should be 6, font should be medium, padding y should be 4. Till now, yeah, you can get, you are already getting that is but it's not already added in the product. See the functionality, it will work seamlessly. So now it's very simple to go and create other properties. So let's roll back in our add to cart properties, so we can just go and grab something. Now here what we can do, because we want to show the price alongside, is we are showing the price from the product. No, not yet. So what we can do here, we can simply get one properties here. As you remember, that price section, if we just roll back in that product, as you see, we are just providing like that, but according to not, because we are using the same components. So what we can do, we can reuse it here. We can just combine that together. So what I'm gonna do, it should be show price, and I'm gonna keep it as right now, it will be boolean properties, and that one should be okay. Oops, it should be true. Yeah, show price, it should be true, and also the properties should be, means it will always available, like it's true for everything, but if it's not providing that, it would be false. Okay, so now that's the add to cart btn here, but what we did wrong is that we need to align with that properties. Okay, now when a show price is available, what do we want to do? As you may remember, that price section, we keep that price section any of that properties name price tag? Yeah, that's our price tag which we are providing. So what I'm gonna do here in the top, I'm gonna just write a simple thing, show price available. Then what I'm gonna do is that return that particular div, and I'm gonna say that, let's say price tag. Okay, and in the price tag, I'm gonna pass that regular price as the get regular. Did we have that functionality? No, not yet here. So what I'm gonna do, go in that price tag, and okay, that should be the regular price. And okay, as we are going to dealing here, we need to combine that regular price properties. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just wrap things. Yeah, we need to provide the regular prices, we need to provide we need to grab this. If we just go back in the cart, not in the cart, in the product cart. Okay, so in the product cart, we are going to passing that, I think we're passing here. Okay, the thing we're gonna do is that okay, we are passing that regular price and discounted price. So we need to grab that where we call that price tag. Let's see what those properties are. So that would be here in that okay, so that's the price tag we are combining here. Okay, should be a while some of the things which going to get us the regular price and combine. Okay, now we got that point. What we are going to do is that we need to make that things very simple and easy. So let's just go and make that. this price, as you see, it's going to be changes, right? So we need to go and track it with our the properties, because as we define in the price tag separately in that card, it can be available there. But what if we are just going to make that in a different way, then we need to go and combine that. So now I'm just go with that in a pretty usable manner. So I'm gonna just write two of the functionality here, which can give us the favorite price, the regular price and other price. So it will be regular price. As you may remember, we also gonna replace that one with the product card, and everywhere except the card product, which we are doing it the separate way. So now first thing first, we need to get the is existing with the cart or not. So yeah, it's already existing, so it's add to cart button, means we are having that available product. Okay, that's cool. Available existing, it will be the same. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna write a simple functionality which going to say is if existing product is available, then also we're gonna write if product is available. You can just go and operand bit, so make that functionality work. So now if product available, we're gonna just return. What we're gonna return is that it will be okay, it will be return that product dot regular price. Oops, should be regular price. Then also we're gonna add with that existing product dot quantity. So we are just making the prices. So, and if that is available, okay. If it's not available, means we are, this product is not, like if this product's in the card, we are adding that item price for the regular price, the regular price into quantity, for the discounted price dot quantity. Else I'm gonna just return, it should be returned that particularly product dot regular price. So means if this product is not available in the cart, it should just provide that regular price. If it's available, it will just merge with that quantity, and that will be one get regular price, and also const get discounted price, which also going to go with the similar fashion. And remember, I'm gonna just copy that as it will be the same format. Just I'm gonna remove that with discounted price, and also that will be this not the discounted, even should be discounted price. Okay, so now here the regular price should be get regular price, and also for that discounted price should be get discounted price. Okay, now let's roll back to our, okay, a discounted price is not defined. Okay, here should be product. Oh yeah, it should be not the discounted price, it should be product, because that will be the quantity, not the price itself. So now as you see, if we click, it's working. If we go back in the card, you see now we are messing with the two properties. So let's roll back to the card. Not, I think it will be the card product. Oops, not here. It should be card product, and from here where we are calling that add to card properties. So where is that? Let's find it here. Should be somewhere. Yeah, that's, so here we're gonna make that show price as false. Okay, now that one is good. So let's go here, but the problem, it will be once we go over here. No, there is no problem, so we define it here properly. So now let's roll back to our favorite. As we are seeing the price, we have one more section to provide, is that to go and create this. And like if this product is not in the cart, what it gonna do, because both product is available in the cart. So I'm gonna remove that one, and you see add to cart available. If we click, it's added. So if we remove from here, okay, not that one, remove from here, you see, need to add. So that is the simple formation. Whenever you are creating as a unique like a center proportion, it will be very good to go with that. So I'm gonna close those properties, also the typo not required. Okay, add to button worked. So now what we'll do is that in our favorite product, we need to go with some of the other properties, which is that after passing that div and that div, so these two div, I'm gonna get another properties. No, not that. I'm gonna get a p tag, which going to say you are saving. I think I have that somewhere in the cart product. It's the same things. Yeah, you are saving. So I'm gonna grab those things. No need to write over and over. And then gonna pass that things. So now should be passing that formatted price, product.regular price, and that's it. Okay, you are saving 70. Okay, that's cool. So now even you are going in the smaller screen, that's giving a boost. Okay, cool. Now if we remove that, also that, see, nothing added to favorite is providing. So we need to make the things look much more perfect. So let's roll back in that. And there is one more property which you need to create. Once we click on the image, it should redirect us or navigate us to the image. We will do that. And to do that one, it should be very simple to provide. You see that div, we will just write a function. You can make also that one and one href, then it will also fine. So I want to show you the both way how you can do that. So it will be simple, navigate, and where it gonna navigate with the backtick, it going to navigate through the product, and after that it will go with that our unique properties, which we create the pages with product_id. So it will go with that particular patient. So now in the favorite, as nothing to be added, we are already showing here. Let's put that, and also I'm gonna put a p tag, which is going to be lorem 30, just to provide some text. Let's make that class name should be text3xl. And why try so hard? Let's go in the top and grab those properties, so it will be the similar of that, and paste it here. Okay, nothing is working. And also for that p tag, text should be lg, and tracking should be wide, leading should be 6, and text should be gray of 500. Okay, and one more property should be there, and I'm gonna use the link properties. So whenever anyone click on that particular link, they should go to directly on the product. Okay, product, so that they can add product from there. So it will say add products. This one, let's just okay, let's just go and make that these products. Let's put some of the class name here, which are going to be, I'm going to give you a full width, I'm going to give you margin top of 2, and then I'm going to make it MD. Also the border it will be transparent, and then padding X should be 8, padding Y should be 3, and after that what we can do is the text should be base. Also font, I'm gonna provide a medium font. Text should be gray of 900, and then background gray of 100, and let's say width should be auto whenever it's gonna be bigger screen, and hover bj should be block, and hover text should be white. Let's just put a duration, not wrap, white, duration should be 200. Okay, that's the properties which we are going to create. Now let's just go and make some of the flexible. Okay, no need to provide the margin top, or why? Okay, let me see what we can do here. Okay, so in that div we're gonna start pouring the class name, which I'm gonna make that mx auto to keep in the middle, flex, and should be max width should be 3xl. Yeah, I think that would be enough. Okay, Yeah, so I'm gonna make it also, as we make it flex, let's just grab that one as flex column property. Gap should be 3. Okay, now looks better. And also item center, text should be center. Okay, so now that should not be MA, should be MX. Now you see it's in there. So if you go here, add some products in the fabric. Okay, cool. As you see now, there is one of your tags which you can do is that. Now if when you click in the image, you see it's getting in that our same properties. So now your tags is that to entitled the receipt favorite properties here, which you just need to create a button. So now as you see, let's go back to our my account section here. So we didn't create anything yet. If we go back here, we need to create those two functionality. And again, I'm referring, if you, because this one we can go a little bit fast forward, but if you have any like query regarding that, how to do it properly, there will be a video, and the video link will be in the description, which you can feel free to follow through, and you can learn more about how you can create a login registration with Firebase in a proper way. And now if you really thinking that video is helping you, please subscribe the channel and like the video. Okay, so now as we finish almost overall here, we need to create one properties here which going to be make our registration and login. So let's go here. So in the profile, we are going to toggle through with registration and login. So I'm gonna just grab, did we create those no, not yet. So let me create two files, which going to be registration.tsx or Reactjs, and another one it would be login. So that would be login.tsx or Reactjs login. So let's roll back to our profile. Not the product, should be profile. Okay. So now in the profile, we are going to just create one instances. Remember, we have the user in our store, so we need to grab those user. So let's make that it should be current user, and then also it will get user info, and also is loading. That all properties going to coming from the store. Okay, so now we will just create one use effect, so it will always toggle through to check if our user is available or not, and that will just get with that, combined with that get user info. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a function named unsub, and then it will just go with that on auth state change. That's like we are preferring from the Firebase auth. This will just check if the auth available, means if the user is available or not. So you're gonna pass the user here, and what it's going to do is that get user info, we need to set that user dot uid. So it will set the user with that particular uid, and after passing it there, we need to return that. So the return, we should return a simple function here, which going to be make unsub. Okay, so now this will define us to provide the user here. So let's go here and check in the console here. So now if we check log, let's see what we have. Current user, we have null, so that it will not combine with that, but once it will always cross check with that. If we have that uid, then it will just providing us the user, otherwise it will not provide anything. So now in that particular section, I'm gonna take it as a container. Okay, and here I'm gonna just do a simple functionality. What I'm gonna do, if the current user is available, then provide, and also we need to create one more event is here, which going to be user info.tsx. Okay, so now if user is available, we are going to render that user profile, should be okay, user. Okay, we passed that as info. Yeah, okay, no worries. If current user is not available, we will pass that registration. Okay, so in the registration we're gonna toggle through whatever the properties we are going to define or not. Okay, now it's registration here as we are not having any user. If we have the user, it will pass us the other properties. So now what we can do is that in that layer we can provide that loading properties. So if its loading is available, means whenever it's going to check the user is available or not, then I'm gonna just render that which we have our loading component. So if loading available, then it will go render that. For right now it will not be loading because as we are not having the user. So now let's roll back to our registration properties. We're gonna start working on it. On the registration we will create one state which is going to be const login set login, which can be by default. Right now we'll keep it as false. So now what we can do it here, we can just also check with that if we are having that login, then we're gonna provide, means if login is true, then it will be giving us that login instances. Otherwise it's going to be providing a particular div, not divide, it should be div, and here we're gonna pass a from, and also in the from let's just pass a p tag to see the from. You see it's from available. If I make it just the keeping that condition as null, okay, right now I will keep it as true. Okay, as we're gonna work with the true properties, I'm gonna make it just toggle through with that. So we have that from. In the from we will just go with just creating a similar functionality to align with that, and for the design it depends on you. We can make it, you can do it to make it in better purposes. So let's make that background of gray of 950, not 20, should be 50, and rounded should be LG. You see, that's what we are talking about. So now also, yeah, I believe, yeah, keep it simple in that. So you can do the other tricks, make it more smaller or bigger, it depends on you, but I'm gonna go with that designing parameter. This one you can give it a try to redesign again to match with that background color. You know, if you give a board round like border and background of white and keep this one black and white, it should be more good. But I'm gonna go with very simple preferences as this video is getting so much long. I don't know either you can finish it or not, or you can watch it from the beginning or not. So now let me go to start with that. So put a class name, max width should be 5 axle, mx should be auto. How much is the 5 axle? I think the similar, yeah, 1020 was we provided here in the container. How much is that? Why it's not showing here? Okay, it's not showing here. So now let's put that screen axle. Let's see, I just want to see how much is similar or not. No, it's not similar, it's little bit smaller than that. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now mx auto, and also okay, yeah, this should be, because remember these properties, it will be on that. And also what we're gonna do is that let's just go and grab padding top should be 10, padding x should be 10, lg px, padding x should be 0. Okay, right now the form is not showing because we need to style keep it styling that form properties. So by default, let me just make the text white so we can see all the available text here. This one, don't worry about that because we're gonna start working on it, so that time it will be looks perfect. Now for that p tag, instead of p tag, I'm gonna generate one div here, and in that div I'm gonna take one h2 tag which saying as registration from. Okay, and also I'm gonna make some class name which going to be text should be lg, font should be semi bold, and I'm gonna make it uppercase, leading should be 7, and text white by default. Okay, cool. And let me grab that For right now, instead of padding top, I'm gonna just write that py so that it will not break. Okay, later on we're gonna put that functionality in an upper level. So now let's put a p tag, which going to say is that you need to provide required information to get register with us. Similar, if you're watching the video, which in the link in the description, the same thing, but there is defining is more allowable and free, feel free to go and watch it. But if you're looking to finish that project, this one also be fine. Text should be SM, leading should be 6, and text should be gray of 400. Okay, cool. And now what I'm gonna do is that for the class name, which going to be, I'm gonna provide a border of bottom, and border bottom should be white, and I'm gonna give you 10% of opacity. Padding B should be 5. You see, that's the one. If you just go and make that 100%, you can see it properly, but I'm gonna keep it as 10. Cool. So after finishing that div, we will go to create our other properties. Let's just make one div here. So within that div, we're gonna start creating those properties. So first thing first, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take one more div, another div here, then one more div, and then I'm gonna generate a component which going to name as label. So let's put a UI name as label.tsx rafce. So that will be our label, and within that label we're gonna keep all the label parameter. So what we're gonna do is that instead of that, we're gonna pass a label here. Okay, and let's just put that title, which is going to be title as a string. So now we can provide the title here. So in the title also we can define two more properties, which going to be HTML4, and that one also going to be coming as a string. So let's put that HTML should be 4, which going to be string also. Let's put that HTML4 should be the HTML4 we are receiving. And for the class name, it should be block, and text should be SM, font should be medium, and then leading should be 6, text white by default, but we can keep it as white also. Okay, now let's go in the registration. So as we are having the label there, so we will just pass that label here. Okay, we need to import that label in the top, not that label, should be label from our UI, which we created already. That's the label should be aligned here. And now we're gonna pass that title, should be title is the first let's, what do you say, called name, and HTML4 should be first name. Okay, cool. So let's go back here. You see our first name label is appearing. So in this layer, I'm going to define some of the class name, which going to be, let's say, for the class name, we will also provide that border properties, which going to be border B, border bottom of white, opacity should be, let's say, chain, 10 should be padding B5. Okay, so now in this div, empty should be 5. And then I'm gonna make it grid, and grid call should be by default 1, gap in X should be 6, and gap in Y should be 5, and SM grid call should be 6. Okay, so now in that div, class name should be SM, call span should be 3. Now after that label, we need to get that our input property. That input property, first one, it will be the text, and the name should be first name, and also the class name. Now there is, we need to define our class properties. So let's put class name, it will be block, which should be full. Okay, and then rounded should be MD. Okay, I'm gonna close my Explorer. Okay, that's the things. So now let's make it much more professional. Border should be 0, no border, and then BG should be white, opacity of 5, as you see. Yeah, looks cool. And now padding Y should be 1.5, padding X should be 4, and then outline should be, okay, outline should be none. Okay, and then texts, I'm gonna provide white text, and after that I'm gonna make a shadow of a small shadow. I'm gonna make it ring as 1, and the ring should be inset, and then ring should be also white and with the 10% of opacity. As you see, that looks better. But why the padding Y is not working? Oh, should be PY, not only Y. Yeah, now it's working. And now what we will do is that once we are focusing on that, ring should be, let's just put that by default is offset, so it should be there. So I'm gonna make it ring of that indigo, or we can make that ring of sky text, and SM text should be SM leading, that's also make that leading should be 6, not left, leading should be 6. Okay, cool. As you see, that's defining how it can be merged. Also, one more thing, margin top should be 2. Okay, cool. That's our properties for this to create that. Now what I'm gonna do is that this, we have one properties, so it should be same like we're gonna have what you can say. Let's go here. How many we have? We have first name, last name, email address, password. So that's those properties we're gonna create. So let's go and rolling back with to create that. So to do that, this is the first one. So I'm gonna grab and create one more like that. Save. You see, 2. So now here it should be the last name, and also it will be the last name, and the HTML4 also going to be last name. And after that, creating, I think we need 2 more, 1, 2. Okay, so now this one, I think the third one, which going to be for us that this should be for okay, last name. That's also for last name. This one should be for email, so it will be email address, and it will be email, simple email. And here the type should be email, and also the name should be email. Okay, the email is done. And what I'm gonna do is that instead of SM call span, I'm gonna do I'm gonna directly make that call span of 4 without keeping is 3. Okay, and for that password also, let's just grab here, and that it will be password, and the HTML4 should be password 2. Let's just go the type, and the name should be password. And also this one, I'm gonna make it as 4 so that it will align. As you see, looks cool. If you just go in the smaller screen, should be working. Yeah, cool. Okay, now one more properties is needing to applied. As you see, yeah, these properties here, we also gonna entertain that. So after finishing this properties here for that password, I'm gonna go and grab one more div here, or instead, yeah, I think we can delve on that. Let's just create one more div, and here we need to provide that, so it should be call span should be full. Now let's just go create that. So I'm gonna just pass a div and then another div, and I'm gonna get my label here, which going to say the title as for, let's say, cover photo in the label, and we will define if the HTML4 is available, then it will say, otherwise null. Okay, what we did changes here. Okay, so now this will be the cover photo. So for this one also, in this layer, let's just put a class name, should be empty of 2, and I'm gonna make it flex. Item should be center, gap x-axis should be 3, and also this one giving the room for like flex 1 to get all the available spaces. So after this portion, the label portion, I'm gonna get one more div, and here I'm gonna provide all other properties, and this also going to be margin top of 2, and I'm gonna make flex justify should be flex, and that can be, yeah, justify should be center to keep everything center, rounded should be LG, and I'm gonna make that border should be dashed, and border should be wide with opacity of 25, padding X should be 6, padding Y should be 4. Okay, this one is there. Now we need to just injecting those properties. So let's roll back here. So within that div, first we're gonna pass a div here again and another div. So now in that first layer of the div, here I'm gonna grab those images later on, but right now I'm just go with that MD photo library, because as I'm not gonna use that image yet. So this one should be class name like MX auto, height should be full height, which should be full, and then I'm gonna make that text gray of 500. In this particular layer of the div, let's just make class name which should be 14, height should be 14, and then it will be also, I'm gonna make a border gray of 600, and then rounded should be full, padding should be 1. Let's save. You see, that's the one we created. Later when we put the condition, as you remember, once we are having the image, it should appear there also. And how it will appear, if we just click here, as you see in the photo library, we can choose the photo that we need, can show it here. So that's also you will create. Later we're gonna go and grab the condition. Okay, so after that particular div, I'm gonna take another div. Now here I'm gonna take a label, so that will be our label, which going to be getting us, yeah, we will get also HTML, which going to be file, so should be file upload, and that label going to be containing an span tag should be saying upload a file, and then also it will interject with one input which going to be say file upload, and that one can be, the name also should be file upload. Oops, and then the ID also can be file upload. Okay, so that's the need to align with that. So let's go in the top layer of the div. Margin top should be 4, flex, item center, MB should be 1, text should be small text, leading should be 6, and then text should be gray of 400. Okay, cool. But now we need to make polish with that. As you see, it's not looks anywhere near like that, but we'll create that. So in that span tag, but before going to span tag, let's go in that our input. Here I'm gonna say the class name SR only, so it will be available only for skin reading, but it will be available here. It's still here, but it's just we are hiding that. So now let's go in the input section. Let's, okay, not in the input section, but in that here, let's just make it a class name which going to be relative, as whenever we are doing that SR only, that's can be like, if you just see the properties here, what is written here is that it's making the positioning absolute with height and other properties is giving. So now it's relative, and cursor I'll make pointer, and rounded should be MD, padding X should be 2, padding Y should be 1, BJ should be gray of 900, Font, I'm gonna make it semi bold, and then text should be gray of 200. Focus within. Okay, I'm not gonna provide any outline and other properties. Let's just make of that. You see, that's cool. But where is our, that is not opening, means it's not working at all. So if I just remove that properties, okay, yeah, it's what we are missing here. The type we provided should be file upload, and name should be file upload. Oh, okay, type should be file, not the file upload. Okay, that's what we are missing. Now if we click, yeah, now it's working. Okay, and should be answer only. You see, if we click here, okay, that's cool. And we can just simply do it over BG off, gray off, let's say 800, just to see, yeah, it's working. So now after that span tag, or like after that label, we're gonna also put a p tag which going to say or drag and drop. Let's see. Okay, cool. And now it's going to say class name padding left should be 1, but it's not aligning together. And to implement that one, let's just roll back over. You see, we put the label here. We make it item center, but it's not coming as center as it. So let's roll back in the top, should be here. Okay, flex. Let's just okay, that is the layer which we created this part, so it should be here somewhere. Now we are providing that cover. Okay, I think it should be here, item center. No. Okay, it's not that properties which is messing around, it's the images which we are providing that mess. So let's go in that here, and these two properties, so these two we need to keep aligned, which can make the things done. So let's put a class name here. Flex should be flex on column, and then item center MB should be 1. Not MB should be 1, that's it. I think item center should work. And I'm also going to make that text as center just to pass any of the confusion. See, okay, that's cool. So now after that p tag, okay, where we define that, that's the here, the upload file, and that's the p tag here. So after providing that p tag, let's in that particular finishing that d, we can say it will be taking that png, jpg, and also it can be get GIF up to 10 MB. Okay, looks here. So now put a class name here. Text should be extra small, leading should be 5, and text should be gray of 400. Okay, cool. So as you see, that's our thing is done. I think with that we can go with that. So now after finishing those properties, so before finishing that form, let's here come. So before finishing the form, I'm gonna take one button properties which going to say, let's say it will be sending send, and that button, the type should be submit, and we will also make that functionality, but we'll come later on that. Let's put a class name, empty should be 5. Let's see, yeah, that's here in the button. Also let's make that bg of, let's what you can say, indigo of 700, or we can make our own background. So should be bj of sky text, okay, and which should be full, py should be 2. Cool. That's you can put, or either also you can go with that, depends on you. So I'm gonna go with it, just indigo of 700. Now this one you can change as the way you prefer, no worries about that. So text should be base and font should be bold. Also tracking should be white, and then text should be gray of 300. rounded should be MD, and whenever I'm hovering on that, text should be providing as white, and then over BJ should be indigo of 600, and I'm gonna make a duration of 200. Cool. Now you see, okay. And one more property should be aligned with that. If I'm having that error message right now, I'm just gonna say, let's say error message will go here. Okay, just to provide that ideas, but we're gonna implement it later on. With the class name, BJ should be white, and I'm gonna go with opacity of 90. Text should be red of 600. Text should be center. Padding Y should be, let's give 1. Rounded should be MD. Tracking should be white, and font should be semi-bold. So that will provide the error message properties. And after that from tag, so when we finish the from, a p tag which going to say already have an account. If we have the account, we will provide a button, or you can provide a link here, so it depends on you. So let's just put a button which is going to say login. Okay, so right now what I'm gonna do, as we did before, so for the padding Y properties, I'm gonna just make with that padding T. Now we can define it here, so let's go and grab those things. Okay, put a class name here which going to say as that text should be SM, and then leading should be 6. Text should be gray of 400, and text should be center. Minus empty should be 2, and padding Y should be 10. Okay, already have an account. Login properties, we just going to implement some logic here. Class name, text should be gray of 200, and font, I'm going to provide a semi-bold font. Underline should be applicable. Underline offset should be 2. Decoration should be 1 pixel, and then hover text should be white, and duration should be 200. Okay, cool. And now once we click on that, we're gonna also write a on click should be, we're gonna make set login as true. Right now it will work in a very out of the manner. As you see, it will not go with that particular event, as we didn't finish it yet. Okay, later on we're gonna implement that. So how, because right now it's already true, so it will not make that things to be done. So to see if it's working or not, we need to make that as false, and we need to eradicate on that properties. Okay, if it's false login, so we need to go with that. If we click on that login, you see, that's what we are dealing right now. Okay, I'm going to keep it true for right now. So as you see, we are done with the functionality. Now we need to just go and create the login instances, and to do that, you see in that form, we're gonna write a function which say on submit, should be on submit, and that it will be handle registration. So let's define it here at the top. It will be const handle registration, and then okay. So first thing first, if I just go and click here, you see there is a reload going on. We need to stop that reloading. Okay, in React we are not doing any reloading and other instances. So that one we're gonna pass an E. Just try to get the event value here. That's your tax. You can put it in the typo. And what I'm gonna do is to just make that e dot event default. Okay, now if I click, you see it's not giving me the default behavior. Now there is one fundamental thing. Don't worry about to give it a try. You see what I'm saying, you once you click on that regarding that event value, you can just go and make this one to get the typo. If you having if you're unable to get it done, let me know in the comments below. I will provide the exact typo, exact types definition which can be provided. And now let's just start rolling on that. We're going to also create some of the instance which should be login, and it will be set, sorry, it should be loading, set loading, which is going to be user state. Right now it should be false. And also we will make that error message properties. So error msg set error msg for the message. User state, it should be by default empty. And for the image, and we're gonna make that avatar set avatar, and user state. Now we're gonna define a particular object for it. The file should be by default null, and URL should be empty. Maybe I'm just running it through a little bit fast way. If still you are having any doubt to understand these things, just go and grab the link from the description regarding learning the login and registration using Firebase, and there you can get all the small explanation. So now what we're gonna do is here is that first thing first, whenever we are gonna coming on that, let's make that const from data, and we're gonna use that new from data, and then we're gonna make the data from that e.target. So const, we know what this data is available to do is the first name, it's having the last name, is having the email, is having the password, and let's just getting any typo of that. Okay, and then we're gonna make that object, because this from data contains that object done from entries, and that entries we are just going to include it from that from should be from data. So now we can go and grab those things to see if it's working or not. Let's put a log and see if we can see that our first name and also the last name, email and password, if it's working or not. So let's just make that things. Let's type something, should be, I'm gonna give my name, okay, and email address should be okay, providing that password, blah blah blah. Try, you see that's now combining here, so means everything is working, it's good to go. And also one more properties we will check. Let's upload file here, but right now it will not do anything yet. So what I'm gonna do is that first let's roll back to our upload file properties over here. That's our file, upload a file. So here we're gonna write one properties here on that, so it should be on change, it will be like handle avatar. So let's just go in the top layer, we're gonna create those functionality to upload the avatar, so that it will be const handle avatar, which I'm going to get everything from the top. And again I'm gonna just define as any, give it a try to make that, and if e.target.files available on that, so means we will grab a file. Then what we're gonna make that, let's make that set avatar, and we are just going to pass the object on that. The file should be, you can just make a console log to get whatever we are receiving there, so that it can be making more sense to you. So e.target.files will be coming from the 0 index, and then also it will make that URL should be URL, and then also created object URL which need to be right there. So e.target.files should be 0. So now we're going to have an avatar whenever we are having those particular event and effective images. So now we can go and grab those avatar and pass that one here. Remember we did it here one, I think this one, yeah, that photo library. So here we're gonna just write a simple condition here which is going to give us the image. So let's just cut that, and now should be avatar .url. So if avatar.url is provided, we want to provide something. If it's not, provide something. So if avatar URL is available, we are going to render one image properties, and the source should be like avatar.url, and the alternative tag should be like user image, and also the class name should be, width should be full, height should be full, rounded full, object. Let's just put at cover. Save. And let's roll back to in our application here. Let's grab one file, upload. You see, now this property is working. So with that, we are almost there to compiling everything. So it's time to talk to our database there over there to create our user. So I'm gonna open that. As you see in the authentication right now, we have nothing. Now we will start using user. Also in our Firestore database, everything is empty. You need to configure that. Also our storage should be empty because we didn't keep anything yet, but we start keeping things up. So now here we're gonna write one simple proportioning, which is going to be try catch. Okay, oops, not trace, should be try catch. Why is not giving that? Okay, I think, yeah, it's going to be affected from here. So let's just make try catch. Okay, try catch. So in the try catch, now in the catch value also I'm providing any. So now here what I'm gonna do, again, if you're having doubt, let me know in the comments below, and also see the link to understand in a better way. What I'm going to do, I'm catching the error, and then I'm passing only and taking an empty variable as an error message. Then I'm switching to see all the error is providing. Those all error going to coming from the Firebase. So I'm checking that, then setting the error as the error messages, and also I'm gonna make that finally. So what I'm going to do that, because set loading, I need to make it true as I make it false once the instances is running. So now let's just go and grab what I'm gonna do here. So first in the try, I'm gonna make that, let's make that const response, and that response it will await. As it's going to be await, I'm gonna make this entire function as a asynchronous function, so it will be async. And why I'm doing that, because I need to talk to Firestore or Firebase database and Firebase authentication, so it should be await functionality. So it should be create and user with email and password. Okay, create user with email and password, and here I need to pass the auth, I need to pass that email, I need to pass that password. Okay, so that's why I will get the response of user. So now that will be my response, and also I need to grab that image to upload there. So let's make that image URL, so it will be image. Let's make that image URL should be first, it should be null. And now what I'm gonna do, let's make that if avatar is available and an avatar.file is available. So if both thing is available, we are going to upload our image. So now it will be image URL should be await, and I'm gonna make that upload functionality which we created beforehand, and that I'm gonna pass that avatar.file, so it will upload the image for us. And when now in the response I have user metadata, in the image URL we have the images data. So now as we are having both, we can just make that await, and then it will be set document, which need to be imported from Firestore. As you see, I'm importing everything once I'm accessing that. Okay, so if you're not importing, it will not work. Okay, so feel free to import and check, cross check that one. So now in that await, set doc, and here I'm gonna access the document again from the Firestore. Then I'm gonna passing that as the user, so it will go and grab and create the folder as user. Then it gonna pass that and res.user.uid, so which user is saving, it also going to get that impression. And I believe okay, I think I made a mistake because I need to pass the reference. So after that I need to access my DB, right? So after the documents, I need to access my DB, and in that DB, I'm going to set that from the user. So whichever user is passing that, res.user.uid, and then, okay, it said doc is imported. Yeah, it's already imported. And after that, what it gonna do, it gonna save my user first name, it gonna save my user last name, also email. I'm not gonna pass the password as it's not required. And in that avatar, I'm gonna pass that image URL, not my avatar. Remember that my image URL I'm passing, which URL is I'm getting, and ID should be res.user.uid. Okay, so hit save. Let's see what's wrong we did. Did we miss anything? I think so. Let's roll back in the top. What we did, okay, oh, okay, that's what we did. Import use state from React. Yes, okay, so now we're good to go. So what it's going to do now, if we go over here, everything is working properly. It's gonna create a user. Now there is two things we need to do. Whenever user is created, means everything is fine, we created the user, we need to make that set login as true, means set login should be true here. And now what's an error message. For the error message also, let's just okay, what's wrong is import I missed, maybe this will remove something. Okay, good. So now for the error message also, let's go in the role in the bottom here, after where we are passing the error message, upload a file, yeah, in the top of the button. Okay, now here we're gonna just combine one that which going to be error message, and we're gonna pass that properties here, and instead of that text we're gonna just define the error message. Okay, cool. So now if we save, if we see, please enter a valid email, and that one is coming from the Firebase. If you are having any doubt, let's inspect and let's console there. As you see, that is coming from Firebase auth invalid email. Remember the instances we have been tracking here, that's the one is giving the fruits. So here you see auth invalid email, please enter a valid email. You can change the messages from here as well if you want. So now let's create a successful user. Let's see, should be first user and should be gmail.com. Password, I'm gonna provide my password. A cover photo should be, let's just grab that. For right now, nothing here in the authentication in my database, nothing is running. So once we create, should be running something. And also one thing we can do, as you see, we are having one loading instances, we can provide the loading, right? So whenever we're gonna make that button disable once the loading is running, so you cannot click, even you click it will not take any action. And also okay, and also once we click on that loading, like if we have the loading, then it gonna do something. If loading, it will say loading, otherwise it will say sent. So let's click, you see, this email is already in use. I don't know, did it create it already? What's wrong? Let me just check. Maybe, yeah, by mistake, maybe previously I have been created. I'm gonna delete that one. Okay, fine. So let's roll back here. Yeah, once we are passing that as a test purposes, maybe I create that. Let's click on save. I don't know, is my loading instances is working? I think so. That's where I'm having the issue, because I'm not seeing the loading but user is created. So let's go and see set loading is working or not. No, we didn't make set loading true. That's the problem. Yeah, because our user is created, that's why it's giving us the user. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, let's put one again. Let's just see this time. But the problem is, if we are successful, why that set logging is in false? I think it's because by default is true, and also we need to remove that condition. Yes. So now, okay, first I want to just see that. Okay, let's just try. You see the loading? Yeah, loading is added. And also if I save, you see we are just going to pass with the login. So if we go back here, just hitting refresh, we should be able to see our user. But the last one, did you see that? No, it's not yet created. What's wrong with that? Let's just see and what's happening. Okay, our first user has been created. Let's go in the Firestore. Let's see if we are having the user or not. Okay, in the user meta, we have our users and we have 2 users, which is okay. Both is coming with the same email. So, okay, that's having an issue. So I'm going to remove one particularly. So delete document and start delete. And also in the storage, we should be able to see one user available here. You see the images, and there should be 2 images. I'm going to remove particularly one. We're going to configure it. So now, as you see, we now can making the registration. Now it's time to create the login properties. So what I'm going to do, grab everything from the registration. I'm going to grab it all. So in the login, I'm going to just dump it here. And whenever whatever the things I'm not requiring, I'm gonna just remove that portion from here. And be careful once you're removing, maybe you're removing something which you need to have that. So that's the properties, and their set login should be false, so I need to pass that login instances also. So it should be from the login, set login should be set login. Okay. So let's go back in the login properties. Also, we need to bring back the login instances. So it should be set login. So now what we are going to do is that instead of these properties which we are not requiring, so we can directly inject the from properties. So as you see, that's the from which we are going to initially use. Okay, and I think it should align here. Okay, so now from here, instead of handle registration, it should be handle login, and also need to define that login, and let's just define the scenario. And for some of that more parameters which we need to create, which are going to be for that error messages and set loading properties. So let's import that. And now in that this proportion, what we no need to record is that a first name, last name we are not requiring. We should be requiring only that label properties. So this will be our email, and this will be our password, and these properties which we are not going to use it. So it should be loading, or it should be saying that login. And what else is it can be done? So let's go in the top. Let's just keep it. So I'm gonna say set loading should be any. Oh, not loading, should be set login. Okay, so now as you see, we are here already, just pretty much to see that. So now this one need to define some of the properties. So what I'm gonna do, instead of passing those properties here, I need to get the actual class name which we defined there at the top. So let's just bring it back, and we are going to give it here. Okay, cool. And for the register, let's see, it's not we can make that things to work. So you see the button, so it should be on the, oh no, yeah, it should be on the button. That should be on the button, and the other properties which I have been provided before, that should be in the top. Okay, So now this could be here. Okay, cool. We can go registration now. We can go login now. So now what we can do, instead of putting those preferences here to make it null value, I think it's already we defined. Yeah, it's good. So now in the login, what we are going to do is that on that from parameter, let's go and create the functionality. So we need to define that our properties, which going to be, let's just say e dot prevent should be default, and after that we need to make other parameters too. Okay, we didn't explain the e here, so it's giving that error, should be any. Okay, now what we need to do is that create the same functionality of the try catch here, so should be try catch, and I'm gonna just break those properties which we have been provided in the registration. So it will be that passing that error code, and let's just pass that error as any error can be provided, and also need to create that finally properties. Finally set loading should be false. So now after passing that error properties, as you see the simple error we are getting with the switch case with the if user not found, you can roll back to make mistake and find the error properties. Now what we need to do is to getting the from data, remember, which we have been provided there. So that's the same properties we can grab from here by which we created that from data. So make that should be, we can keep it here, or now instead of that first name last name we should be here. So first we will keep it out of the context. So once we have that too, now we will grab it here, so it should be await, and then we make it that sign in with I think it should be await or we can go with that, but yeah, I will keep that here instead in that here. So it should be await, as I need to make that as async function. So now you can also grab the response if you want to do it. So it should be await sign in with email and password. Here I need to pass my auth, which, and also I need to pass my email, also need to pass my password. So now if every credential I am passing properly, it should give me the login instances. So what I'm gonna do is to create another user. So let's go in the register, let's make that Jennifer Lawrence, jennifer@gmail.com, and password, I'm gonna provide a password, and this just passing that previous instances. You can either make it true false, no worries about that. So let's hit send. As you see, as it's loading, so after creation it should be our set loading should be true. Okay, you can also put a subset of loader if you're having any doubt on that. So as you see, we are now in rollbacking on the registration. So for the registration, let's make that with jennifer@gmail.com 123456. Let's put the login. So after grabbing that login, we should be able to is it working? Let's just grab that. Yeah, it's working. It's just having to load the properties. So now we have the user, and that user will reflect within the user info. As you see, our user info is popping up. So now what we need to do is to assign the user info to show our various information about the user. That's now what we can do in that instances. So let's go back to our user info properties, and here let's just in the user info, let's go to our profile, and here we can pass our current user, right? So should be current user as current user. So now we can access the current user in the user info. So let's go back here, let's put that current user, and I'm gonna define the properties here. So let's just interface props. Now for current user, I'm gonna put it any user just to see what we are receiving. Log, and should be current user and let's just see what we are receiving here. Okay, we are receiving an object who is providing the user properties. So instead of any, we can now define that what could be the current user. It should be taking the, I think it's defined in the typo in the types. So let's go. You see, it should be available user info, user type. See, so that's the user types we need to get. So instead of that props, we can just provide that user types. Okay, so now we are having the user, so we can provide the user info properties. So how we can do that? If you see, if we just roll back in our previous build, let's go to the login, and if we make sign in, that's the loading properties which we can access that one. So let's just go and create that properties, but I think I need to log out first, but we will create that instance, don't worry about that. So to get things done, that properties, what we will do is that let's roll back here. Instead of the div, let's take a container here, container. Okay, so now in the user info, we're gonna take a div, and here in the div we're gonna make the properties. So class name padding y should be 5, and here after that div I'm gonna take another div. Let's grab the image properties. So if the image is available, means if current user dot avatar is available, then should be current user dot avatar. Otherwise, I'm gonna just grab one thumbnail image just to show the image properties. So it will be that one, and here the name should be user image. Okay, you can pass any of the properties here. So now let's just, if I save, let's see what we are receiving. Okay, we should see a very big user image here. So let's go and define some properties with a class name relative. I'm gonna make it as isolate. Overflow should be hidden. BJ gray should be 900, and padding axis should be 6. Padding y should be 112, so 12. Or we can make it as 24, make it much bigger, and shadow should be LG, not LG. I'm gonna make it bigger, 2XL. SM rounded should be 3XL, and then SM padding x should be 16. Okay, much more bigger. Now let's roll back here in that div. Class name flex call, SM should be flex row properties, item should be center, gap should be 5, and SM gap should be 10. Okay, now let's roll back to the image properties. Class name, which should be 40, height should be 40, rounded 4. Let's give a border should be gray of 700, and object should be cover, padding should be 1. That's the image. If we just roll back the condition, what we are receiving, let's see, that will be the cover photo. Okay, so now we have the current user, and after that image we will take one div, should be saying h2, and here welcome back dear, and I'm gonna put a span tag here. It should be providing that the current user first name. We'll just concate with that, and current user last name. Okay, that's 2 is coming, but we will also define one space here. Or what we can do is that instead of rolling these two together, crampling all together, I'm gonna just separate it. Okay, let's just select those portion, cut it from there. I'm gonna make a space, I'm gonna paste it here. So now it's gonna adding a space here. So also by default I'm gonna make it text as white. See, we can now view that. So now this h1 tag, or make that h2, put a class name. which should be text should be Excel, font should be bold, tracking should be tight, and then SM text should be for Excel. Cool. And also that div, let's put a class name, and item should be start, and not items start, text should be start, and flex should be 1 to give all the available space. Now for that span tag, I'm gonna provide anything not so fancy. Yeah, we can provide underline offset can be not 4, should be 2, and similar way put a decoration of 1 pixel, and then font should be medium. Okay, just to define that. That can be okay. So see, yeah, cool. Now what we gonna do after that h2 tag, we're gonna just take a p tag which saying RM50, just to define some of the text properties. Put a class name, text should be start, and we can also put an asterisk, and margin top we can provide as 6, max weight 3 axle, and then we can make that text base, and empty should be 3, and leading should be 6, and also text should be gray of 300. Okay, cool. Now one more thing is to go and get those button properties. So after that particular div, let's get another div. So one button should be edit profile. So there should be 3 buttons altogether. Okay, so we will create one design, then we will just pass those design parameter. So let's go in that edit profile, or let's go in top layer of that div actually. So margin top should be 10. I'm gonna make it a flex. Item center given x should be 5, padding x should be 4. Okay, now for that button, let's just make rounded should be MD, and BJ should be white, and also padding x should be 8, padding y should be 2.5, and then text should be SM, font semi bold, should be semi bold, and text should be gray of 900. Okay, and now hover BJ should be not white, let's just give a gray of 100. You see, cool. And also let's just make focus visible, and whenever it's focus visible, outline, we're gonna provide an outline here. So let's just make outline, and then focus visible, that outline should be should be 2, and also focus visible, we're gonna make outline offset, outline offset should be 2, and focus visible, that outline should be sky text, as you see. Now that not saying, but let's just make it red of 600. Okay, but did we remove the outline? Okay, should be okay, fine. Let's just see, we will check why it's not working later on. So let's just make 2. One should be edit profile, then one should be add address, one should be logout. Edit profile and address, and one should be logout. So now in the logout, what we will do, once we click, we will make the things to create a logout session. So now to create that, also I'm gonna provide one SPG formation that you can just copy paste. So that SPG going to create that circle at the bottom. So let's just define that here. Hit save. Now as you see, bit of SPG effect. So now what we will do, once we click on that login button, so that's the logout, so it should be on click. We're gonna make that auth. No, first we need to go to make that foundation, so it should be auth dot from where we define the auth dot sign out should be, yeah. And also we are just going to pass one on click event for both parameter, that for the edit profile, like one of the simple function where we are getting the toaster. So it's saying edit profile option available on pro version. For right now we are not going to provide that. And also at address we will define that the same parameter. Okay, so now if you click on this two, edit profile. Okay, now for sign in, if we make logout, you see it's logout. Let's go in the login. Let's try here, login. We will make that what you call that, we'll make that login instances, so that's way it will be super fast. So if we are having that, so let's go to the login instances. So we will simply pass that loading instances so that it can be effective. So in the login, on the bottom layer here, so what I'm gonna say, loading and we're gonna pass that loading a component here. By the way, if you want to pass that one in your instances, it's very simple. Okay, we are in the profile. Okay, let's go in the login. Let's try again. Hit. Did we missing something? Are we missing something? That let's try here. Okay, it should work. I'm providing my email. Let's try if we are having that email or not. Scroll back. Okay, I'm having that email also. So why is giving, it's just not working? See, the login button is not taking the hit. So let's scroll back to the login if we miss something. Okay, so the button disable once is loading. Okay, make that button again. What's happened? Now that's is coming. Okay, one is coming, so try now one. Okay, but this instance is not taking action. I think I missed one parameter. Type is submit. In the registration also it's working. Okay, so in the from, what we have been written on the from should be on submit handle login. Yes, handle login is provided. e.prevent default try, we are trying that. Oh, okay. Similar parameters we did. Set loading should need to be make it as true because loading is activated, so means we are not accessing the state. So only one time we can access that. Later on it's giving us that error. Try that. You see, now loading is working. Okay, but we are not able to access the data. I want to catch the log also. Let's see, console log error should be giving us the error. If we are having error, did my thing is running? Yeah, it's running properly. Let's hit reload properly. Go back here, just go back to my account. Okay, I will try with Jennifer again. I think that could be probably, remember we have been removed some of the properties there. I think we removed the user base properties, so I'm gonna remove that email. So that's what is mismatching, because it's not, because that email is available, but when it's going to fetch the data from Firestore, you see we have the duplicate properties beforehand. So I think that's the one is giving that issue. So we can just simply go and remove that. Okay, now we can click one more. So let's go register. Okay, I'll go with that, and with my password, giving a cover photo. You can also putting the loading instances here, the way you make simple loading, because it will not work. So that's up to you. Also, you can make the color on that. Like I will try to do it in the login. You can try in the registration. So no, in the login it will not be on that, but let's go back in the registration again. Okay. Okay, it's just getting that. Again, log out, go in the registration. So now what we can do is that once any user is created, we will make it a disable functionality. So means once loading, even it will not be on that proportion. So let's go here with the backtick, and if loading available, PJ should be gray off 500, otherwise PJ off, indigo off, I think 600 maybe. Oh, no, 700 we are providing. Okay, so now let's see. Let me refresh. So it will be our like test user, test@gmail.com, and we are going to provide the password, provide the same image. You see? So we just need to make hover out of the way. So once that one is happening, hover should be hover. Let's make hover also PJ gray off 500. That's it. So now we can go, and these two things you can make align. It depends on you, the way you want to see it. You can just roll back with the properties, it will be fine. You can just make that if we go in the login, instead of +44, you can just provide as 3, so it will come all together, you see, side by side. That's it. Okay, now it's cool. So now within that build, we are having that portion. So once we are having the user, means we are having the user, we can create the checkout, right? So let's go in the checkout portion. Let's go in that cart properties. So cart. Now from here, as we can get that current product, so we can get the current user too. So now what I'm gonna do is that, so in that cart properties, let's just go here. So we, in the checkout button, I think we create one checkout button. So in the checkout button, yeah, we already created those instances, right? So let's go in the cart. Yeah, we have the checkout instances, but as we are not having that current user here, so let's see, that current user going to be coming from store. So we have the user, but let's go in my account. Let's say log out. Let's try in that cart. You see, you need to sign in to make checkout. So now that will be here, and in our last build, which is going to become very soon, maybe by tomorrow, day after tomorrow, where we're gonna try to implement our checkout, and also we're gonna process data to come back here and save it in our storage. So there's all the properties we're gonna implement, and we're gonna create our payment with Stripe checkout. So that will be, I think, one more video should be available later on, 1 or 2, we'll see how much needed. So that's all in this video. I think now you are somewhere to create those properties, and you are very good to go to make things happen. So I think that can be really helpful if you are giving a like and subscribe the channel, and also stay with me till we finish this project, because it's really helpful. It will be really helpful to grab you much more project for you and just get a good job. So we'll see in your next video with other properties of those things to compile everything to finish that. So all the best for this project. We'll see you in next video.